Podcasts are hot right now. How do I know? Well, you're listening to one right now, aren't you? But you might be wondering, how on earth do I get my voice out there and start my own podcast? It all seems so intimidating. Between hosting and platforms and monetization, it can get real complicated real quick. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We started this podcast over 2 years ago, not knowing clue one on how to do it. So how did we do it? We did it with Anchor. Anchor is the free podcast app with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And everybody likes money, right? Well, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go right now, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started. It's the eCommerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your host, John Suder, Bart Mroz, and Brittany Blackman. The eCommerce Minute is a production of SUMO Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm located in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's eCommerce Minute episode 738.
In today's episode, Klarna launches rewards program.
Klarna is best known for its buy now and pay later feature, which lets you pay over 4 installments with 0% interest. You can think of Klarna as sort of a credit card alternative payment method, as you don't have to pay for things right away. This summer, the fintech startup is launching a new rewards program called Vibe. If you use Klarna as your payment method, you'll start earning points for every $1 you spent. You can then redeem your points for gift cards at Starbucks, Sephora, Foot Locker, and Uber. The no-fee program will be rolled out in the U.S. market in June before extended to Klarna's other key markets of Germany, Australia, Sweden, and UK in the next year. The move is the next phase in Klarna's effort to evolve the shopping experience to deliver inspiration, convenience, and even more value. Deliver me some inspiration, please. Vibe members have the freedom to shop everywhere and will enjoy access to unique tailored benefits from hand-picked partners in addition to exclusive offers, deals, and other rewards, the ever-popular other. The no-fee Vibe program applies to all purchases U.S. Vibe members make directly through the Klarna app, no matter the store, and when using Klarna at over 200,000 partner retail stores globally. TechCrunch points out that many e-commerce websites have already added Klarna as a payment option to increase sales. It can increase conversion rates for expensive purchases in particular. Choosing Klarna during the checkout process is one way to get rewards. But the company also has a mobile app that acts as a marketplace of sorts. Users can browse Klarna-friendly stores directly from the Klarna app and track orders. But the startup has also developed a way to use Klarna on websites that don't support Klarna, such as Amazon. You can open the Klarna app, browse the web interface of an unsupported store, and pay with a Ghost Card. A Ghost Card is a single-use prepaid card that allows you to make purchases at almost any U.S. retailer through the Klarna app's shopping feature. The rewards program could boost usage numbers over time. Some users could slowly build a habit of opening the Klarna app when they want to make an online purchase. Vibe users will also be able to participate in various sales. Once again, Klarna is positioning itself as an alternative to credit cards with the addition of rewards. The new program will first launch in the U.S. in June and then roll out in other markets in coming months. Bart, I have a quick question for you. Do we have clients that use Klarna, and do they see increased cart size or checkouts or anything like that via the use of Klarna, or is it just something
I believe we have one, I think, which is always hard to believe. I think they do. I mean, Klarna has been really around for a bit, but they also been on it's kind of like, if you get Shopify, you basically just go with Klarna. It's just like they put together that whole play now.
Right. Well, I mean, Shopify now has their own buy now, pay later service. They just launched that a couple weeks ago. So I guess that's coming at odds with Klarna. Maybe that's why Klarna is doing this rewards thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like anything. They're trying to put a lot of marketing dollars towards something. I'm not sure if that's a lift or not, but I think Shopify's just simplicity is better, I think. But we'll see what they do with it.
I never used to pay attention to this kind of stuff, but then I started using things like Rakuten and Honey and things like that where you earn points for shopping. Because I'm like, I'm already spending the money. I'll take the extra step and install the little Chrome thing or whatever it needs me to do. You know, that stuff kind of adds up. And I think, I mean, it's almost like gamifying e-commerce, but if you look at, I'm going to spend $1 or I'm going to spend $1 and get a reward for it, why not go that little extra step? Okay, you give your email address, you get extra emails, who the hell cares? You know, I think it's, especially if you're someone who spends a lot of money online. And the thing about these Klarna, Sezzle, and now the Shopify thing is, I think it's a great alternative for consumers who might not be so credit savvy, but they're, you know, and I hate to say that they need to make a large purchase. Maybe they don't need to make a large purchase, but I would rather see apples to apples. I would rather see someone spread out payments with 0% interest than then just go, close their eyes and put something on a credit card, and 3 years later they're still paying for that bicycle. I think it's a great service. I think it could be used as an education tool when you're trying to teach younger people about how to spend money and not getting up to your eyeballs in debt. Raises hand. Yeah. That was me back in the days. But yeah, I mean, that's obviously a little tangent here. But yeah, I mean, any kind of these reward programs are good as long as the rewards are okay. Now, Britt, in the story, you only have 4 examples of places you can redeem. Is that how they're starting, or is that just a sampling of many, many different vendors?
I honestly do not remember. Are you asking where you can use the rewards program?
Yeah, like where can you use the rewards? Is it just those 4? Or is it?
I think I do remember them saying that they were starting off and pushing it more as it goes on.
Yeah, so it'll grow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Sephora, Foot Locker, Uber, Starbucks, I'm sure that it seems to hit every segment of consumer right there.
Yeah, so. A good jumping point. I do want to mention, though, actually, I remember when Klarna first came out, it was like heavily on my radar because, interestingly enough, the campaigns that they did to promote Klarna at first were through drag queens. And obviously, I'm very into drag. And so all of these queens one day on my timeline were like promoting it. But I do want to say that there is like controversy. Like there were rumors that Klarna was one of those things that ends up being a debt trap.
Do tell.
People were saying that based on this was probably like, I want to say like 2 years ago.
Okay.
It like is one of those finance programs that like preyed on the weak.
How so?
And the poor.
No interest being charged. Well, listen, the rule of thumb is if you can't afford it with the cash in your pocket, then don't use a credit card.
Right. And I
go
think
for a Klarna purchase. Like, why would you spend $2,000 on a TV and defer the payments if you don't have the $2,000 in your pocket? But that's not
right.
America. America's built on debt. It's not rock solid, baby.
You're right. You're exactly right. I think the problem was the way at first in which they were marketing it was a little fuzzy compared to the actual tax bracket you would have to be in to use it. And I think that was a huge gripe at first. Now I haven't seen as much controversy, but I was thinking about that the whole time we were talking about this because Klarna, like I said, has been on my radar for a while.
Bart, can you comment on this? I hadn't considered this because I don't use it. So is there some kind of credit check or something? So if I go in there and I see something that's $1,500 and I want to use Klarna, do they check your credit or how does that work?
I believe they do because it's sort of like, remember Affirm is the other competitor to this?
Right.
So they all do, but I haven't seen.
But it's like a soft credit check, like make it, just.
Yeah, they probably do a.
He's employed. He has a bank account. That's all.
Yeah, but there's also, I'm not sure if Klarna does this, but there's the social proof of it. They look at social media and things like that. So there has been. I'm not sure if Klarna actually
that's
does
nothing
that.
creepy about that.
Well, they're going for the social proof and not just your credit score. That's really what's happening. But they want to spread it out, which I think Shopify's way of doing it is so much better. Spreading over 4 payments without doing credit and stuff like that is great.
Yeah, agreed. But again, if you don't have the money in your pocket, you shouldn't be buying it. Who am I? I'm not Dave Ramsey. I'm just a podcaster.
Anyway.
All right. That's pretty interesting. And we'll keep an eye on this Klarna Vibe Rewards program, see if it's still around and kicking in a couple months.
Yep.
Little stat time. The most commonly used and recognized digital payment solution among Swedes, where Klarna is from, was Swish. In a poll by Statista, 92% of respondents stated to be using it, and 7% had not used it, but were aware of it. Klarna followed in the rankings with 75% of Swedes using it. And finally, Klarna also released traffic data showing 1.1 million monthly active app users in the U.S. So while 1.1 million sounds like a big number, it's not a big number in terms of overall e-commerce. And I think the name Klarna is not something that the average consumer knows about as of yet, but I think it's growing.
True.
So keep an eye on that. All right. Got anything else, Britt?
Nope.
All right. That is your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media at SUMO Heavy.